We've got Underdark meat on this week's Crit Sandwich. I'm recording this. That was the take. We're going.
Do it.
We're doing the episode now.
Do it.
Welcome to Crit Sandwich. On Crit Sandwich, 4 friends play 5th edition D&D campaigns loosely based on our favorite movies, TV shows, and video games. Each season, we randomly roll for new scenarios. You can hear us do just that in a bonus episode that came out today. For this campaign, our characters are royalty in the Underdark, playing the plot of Die Hard. If you're new to Crit Sandwich, this is a great episode to start because we're kicking off a brand new campaign. We also have 5 campaigns for your binging pleasure. Go back and start at any episode 1 or 0. I am Casey Sears. To my left is Chuck Ventus.
How's it going?
Across the table from me, Robbie Ponder.
Hello.
To my right, returning champion, Matt Popich.
So happy to be here, guys. So happy.
And our dungeon master for this campaign. So why don't you just take it away?
Yeah, I would love to. I want to first just give a shout out to everybody who sent some sort of a message saying that wishing my wife well, whether it be on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever. Do we have an Instagram? I don't know.
Nope.
Good. Perfect. So any of those, any social media, I greatly appreciate it. That was extremely nice. And I did actually tell her those things. So we are as a family moving forward, and we're happy to be here. And again, thank you for the well wishes. As far as the campaign goes, I'm very excited to be your dungeon master. I'm going to start by, I think, just giving a little background on Drow in general. It's important to know kind of how they operate. I know we have a few of our players here, both Casey and Robbie, have listened to Homeland, the R.A. Salvatore novel that kind of gave me the impetus to put on the random world chart Minzo Berenson, which is where this is all going to take place. Drow in general, pretty much the most despicable possible playable race in D&D. They are always fighting to be at the top. That is due to the fact that their deity, whose name is Lolth, the Spider Queen, is A, a demon, and B, very, very hands-on. A lot of deities are kind of like, hey, just worship me, and you'll maybe get some stuff, but for the most part, most deities just don't pay attention to what's actually happening on the Earth world. Lolth is like the opposite. She communicates directly with the Drow. She communicates through demons that she sends named Yakals. The expectation is that at all times, everyone that is worshiping her is trying to move forward, no matter what, whether it be kill the person ahead of you, whether it be, just be as underhanded as possible. But in this respect, there's also a false sense of nobility and things that she expects as well. There is an order to it, despite the absolute lack of order in the actual overall society. So it's a really interesting way that the Drow are written, and something that I think hopefully we all can enjoy as we play this campaign out. So in that interest, kind of how this works, the city of Minzo Berenson is in the Underdark. It is, again, an actual city, and probably one of the very few. It is kind of the crown jewel of the Underdark, which is, just to be clear. So the city of Minzo Berenson is down below the outside world where, normal adventures happen as far as dragons and things like that. It is the city of the Dark Elves, and that does not mean that's the only thing you'll find there. In fact, for the most part, the city is made up of the ruling race, Dark Elves, but there are devils, demons, multiple other denizens of the Underdark, such as Illithid are down there, Ilada's ambassadors. There are plenty of slaves. The Dark Elves are huge on slaves. In fact, that's one of the biggest things they do, is raid villages that are unprotected in the surface world and bring back slaves. So you'll see plenty of dwarves, regular elves. They hate regular elves. Hate them. Wood elf, high elf, doesn't matter. They are, just due to their background, they are very anti-elf. But really, anything that can do manual labor, they like to capture and bring down to the to the Underdark to have as slaves. And that's actually one of the things that makes a house stronger, is having a lot of slaves and a standing army. The city itself is made up of houses, just like, the Lannisters and everything in Game of Thrones. Each house has basically a ranking within the world. The top 10 houses are seen as the noble houses, or the royalty, which is what you guys are going to be, is one of our roles was royalty. So that creates the council of the Dark Elves that kind of set the laws and tone for the city. So you guys are actually the Baenres. The Baenres are currently ranked 8th out of the top 10, but there are literally hundreds of houses behind you that can try and take you over. That part of it. So, in going with what I said earlier on how this all works, an attacking house has one night from the time that they start the attack till the next day to kill every single member of the family. If they're able to accomplish this, then they move up the ranks. They take over the house. They take over all of the slaves, all of the army that's remaining. If even one member of the house survives and is able to go and report it to the council, all of Minzo Berenzin descends upon the house that attacked, because you are not allowed to attack, quote unquote, if you're caught. That's Lolth's big thing. Everything's okay as long as you're not caught. So, in the spirit of that, you need a survivor. One survivor is all it takes. Got it?
You don't want a survivor.
I have a feeling some people are going to die.
When we attack a house, we don't want any survivors.
But I have a feeling our house is about to be under attack.
You're the John McClanes. That's right. So, any questions before we move forward about kind of how all this is, how the world works here?
So it's basically survival of the fittest. And if I've like a male character would be the second male in the family, and if he feels like he is stronger than the first male, then he would just kill him, and then he becomes the first male.
That's exactly right. So yeah, even within families, Lolth's overriding mandate is in effect, in that you kill the person ahead of you or you conquer the person ahead of you to get ahead. That is always in effect, both within your house, outside of your house, outside of the world. She is always looking to see who is going to be the most conniving and cunning to move ahead. That is actually a great thing I should have brought up earlier. The Drow society, as Lolth is a female goddess, is 100% female based. Men are basically concubines and slaves for the most part. They go as far as to talk about in the books, like, if two females happen to like the same male and want him to be the concubine, there's like a 99% chance that one of them is just going to kill the male so that the other can't have it. Like that's how low they're seen, in that it's just kind of like, well, the real piece of power here is who can get the male, so I'll just make sure nobody can have it and I'll just kill him. It's rare for a male to have any power whatsoever within Minzo Berenzin. They can raise to really high ranks of wizardry, and they're still seen below just a standard priestess of Lolth, which is kind of what most females aspire to be at the minimum, and then there's high priestesses and matrons past that. So for the most part, men are slaves. Our players, one of them did choose to be a male.
Because I got a dick, that's why.
Okay.
Just kidding, no.
Or you're afraid. You've never played a female, have you?
I just don't think I'd make a good girl. I'd probably ruin it. Huh?
I don't think I've played a female either.
So they're old women voices. And
that's true. As a DM, I've done female characters.
So, but I mean, in Drow society, they're like stronger and more powerful than men anyways. Like they're tougher. They're the melee fighters for the most part. Like the actual like armor wielding ones especially. So unless you guys have any other questions, we'll go ahead and get started. I just wanted a background because it's important for non-lore knowers to know what's going on here.
Do you have any questions, Chuck? You're the one who knows the least.
Yeah, so hearing all that, maybe you might have a question that the listeners might be thinking. Or were you paying attention that whole time?
I was paying attention. Women are in charge. Men are treated like dirt. First, or good-looking ones are concubines, and
Not so much even good looking. Like if there's a guy that has a certain type of talent, I would like want it to make like a supreme or like a more fit child. Like if you're really good with martial arts weapons, like a male is, then I'll be like, well, I want that in my child. You know. So it's not so much even good looks. It's like what kind of skills you have too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're real big into what's it called? Where you intentionally breed two things to create. Eugenics? Yes. Oh, yeah. Drow are super big into eugenics, which is actually why they start with a huge charisma score, is because they have, over the course of time, just made beautiful and more beautiful creatures. We see the world. It is spinning. And it's beautiful. There's oceans, and all we can see at this point is a just beautiful, lush world, just kind of like looking at the Earth. We go down further, getting closer to the Earth, and we see kingdoms. We see villages. Maybe a dragon roars out to the far west. We see lambs and barbarian villages as the teepees and things like that. For the most part, we see a world that is not dangerous. It's mostly protected. Of course, we as players know there are random demon incursions that need fought off, and dragons that tend to maybe overstep their bounds sometimes. But on a day-to-day basis, most people in this world are not in danger. The camera keeps going down, though, further and further past the Earth, as it goes past the grass and down into the darkness, past rock, and then it opens up again. Now we see the Underdark. Caverns and caverns and caverns filled with danger. Every single turn leading to Illithid, leading to hook horrors roaming the depths, leading to myconids, mushroom people, attempting to establish a new colony and being slaughtered by Duergar, dark dwarves that live underneath. There is nothing in this place that gives you any sense of safety. Every single day down here is danger. Every single step you take could be your last, until we get to the most dangerous place of all. Minzo Berenson. The city of the Drow, the place where our story begins. Here, it appears there is a sense of security. The city is surrounded by walls, but inside those walls is the most dangerous place of all, where at any given time, while you can be walking in the streets, you can be attacked, and assuming no one saw you, there is no crime here. Demons walk around as if it's nothing, as do more Duergar, Dark Elves, and even the Illithid. This is a city populated by the most evil creatures in the entire world. And they are here, and they are expected to act civilly unless people see it. Don't see it.
The dwarves got to get them shrooms, man. Getting high on supply down there. Duergar, right?
Duergar?
Duergar. Dark dwarves. Yeah.
Dark dwarves.
Yeah, Duergar. We zoom in upon the Baenre family house. House is an understatement. This is a mansion. The outside of the house is guarded on all sides, about a half a mile out around each side, in what you can see basically as farmland. So, of course, Underdark farmland is a little bit different. There are mushrooms being grown, basic sustenance for dark elves. It does have some meat, pigs and things like that, but for the most part, we're talking about a whole lot of slaves tending vegetables and things of that nature. Around the outside of the house is walls. There is an entrance to the house as far as like a gate goes around the outside, but the walls are pretty well protected by soldiers. And there's a dirt road that leads up into the Baenre house. At this point, the camera comes in through the main doors as maybe a slave opens it, and it goes up into a middle stairway that goes up 4 floors and opens up into a great, gigantic ballroom. The ballroom at this point has tables laid out, and inside, sitting in the tables, are all manner of creatures that House Baenre has invited here. We see just hook horrors, which are monstrous demon things with hooks all over them, sitting next to Duragar, trying to just find something to discuss, even though they don't really typically speak the same languages. We see Sverfulben, which is like a deep gnome. For the most part, they're neutral, maybe neutral good, but some of them certainly flip sides and go to neutral evil, sitting together in one other place. There are probably over 100 denizens here of the Underdark coming to celebrate as a pretty major holiday for your family is about to take place. The holiday that you're celebrating is that your youngest sister, whose name is Loltria, is about to take her step to become a high priestess of Lolth. This would add to your family's prestige. This is a really big deal. Typically, how that'll happen, they will be summoned by Lolth through some sort of a dream. A portal will open up at a certain time and place of their telling, and then they go in. You don't know what happens after they go in. Note that you're never, ever, ever allowed to tell what happens. But should they pass whatever trial happens in there and come back out, they will become a high priestess of Lolth.
What was her name again?
Loltria.
Lol.
Loltria.
Lol. I get it.
Oh, I see what you did.
Yeah,
Terrible.
I laughed out loud.
Lol. So Loltria, who you guys all have kind of liked a little bit, she's kind of like the flashy one of the family. Loltria is younger than you guys and kind of has like a pink streak in her hair that she put in there, despite most dark elves not really being into that sort of thing. But she's hipster, kind of a little bit. But she is a firm believer in the family and in dark elves in general, and has followed the path of being a priestess of Lolth to this point, which is again big news for your family. The second that she would emerge, assuming she does, that there are plenty of deaths that happen going to be a high priestess, and worse, if she does really badly, rather than death, she can be turned into a Drider, which is like a half spider, half drow, in which case your family would have to banish her. So, but we don't think about the downside of this. We're celebrating, right? Because the upside here is big.
What do you mean there'd be like deaths and stuff like?
Oh, plenty of people die going to a trial of Lolth.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about her potentially dying. Okay, yeah. I thought you meant that there would be deaths like outside waiting for her.
Right. No. Like, so she's going in this portal. When she comes out, hopefully she's alive and she's not a Drider. And if she is, you're going to tell the world about it because your family is that much more powerful. However, today is a very dangerous day for your family, as this is kind of dangerous. You have, like, armies are one thing, but for the most part, your family is measured in your ratio of high priestesses to priestesses, because that's the power. As the camera zooms in further, and as we go past all manner of evil creatures that are here within the family, we see a portal to the right of the main family table. Let's go ahead and describe that table a little bit. So at this point, we're going to see 4 main figures. The middle figure is the lady herself. That is going to be Mistress Malice Baenre. At this point, she's a little bit older. You guys have noticed slowly over the past few months that she has not been aging so well as of late. She seems to be moving slowly, sometimes like grabbing her hip. This is all kind of stuff that you would definitely not want outside of the family to know, but you inside of the family would begin to wonder, what has she done to displease Lolth to start to have these sort of getting older effects? That being said, she's still the most powerful creature in your family, as well as one of the most powerful in Menzo Barons, and due to the fact that her closeness to Lolth has granted her powerful magics and artifacts. So she is extremely strong and not something that anyone would ever mess with unless if you've got a death wish. Immediately to her left is Talena. Talena.
Yeah, Talena.
Talena. Tell us a little bit about what the left side of the table looks like.
Hello, this is Robbie. I'm playing Talena Baenre. She is a female, and it's basically going to be like an old, pissed off lady. If you ever have a grumpy grandmother, this would be her. And being as old as I am, I still walk like a warrior. My legs take long strides. My shoulders are wide. My back is straight. And looking from behind, I would look like a woman that's still in her 20s. From the front, you would see my wrinkles. I can still move fast, but mostly when I choose. So kind of think Yoda. I wear dark purple robes, and all the seams in the robes are outlined in solid gold. And the center of my chest is exposed and showing off where I took a great sword to the chest and survived. And the dress actually comes out, and there's 4 legs on each side, so 8 legs coming together, making that scar look like a spider. So think like purple and gold, but back in Roman times where like purple is like a rare color that people only like rich people have. So think of that purple and then outlined in gold. So just a really like fancy dress, and most of the parts of the dress are you can see through and see like my legs and my arms.
Awesome. I love the imagery of the spider like on your chest, basically. I think that's cool. So what class are you?
I would be playing a Warlock of the Great Old One. No, was it?
Sounds right.
You tell us.
That's a thing.
I can't remember the names of them, but yeah, I've been playing.
Okay.
Hey, I'm so
Chuck's
happy.
shaking his head, but all he has to remember is assassin, so that's easy.
Robbie wasn't this disorganized when you were gone, Matt.
Really?
Yeah, he was
was
really on
not.
top of things.
Really?
Yeah, I think he said.
Well,
So what is
I
it about me
edit-
then?
I edit the. Well, I think it's maybe the first episode. I don't know. I haven't looked at this character sheet in a while.
Fair enough.
I will be playing a Warlock of the Great Old One.
There it is. Nailed it.
Level 9, where you're starting at level 9.
We are starting at level 9. You guys are Drow in the drowiest of Drow cultures. So you're up there, yeah. Anything else you want to tell us about 10 as far as like her relationship with the house or the family or anything?
Yeah, so as mostly, I really love my past. But now, like, I feel that our family is growing weak. As you can tell by, I guess, what Matt described of the matron. So, like, our family used to be on fire, I feel. And, like, everyone feared our house. But now I feel like we're kind of getting boring. We're getting boring and overlooked. In the past, like, 30 years, our family has only moved from house 10 to house 5. So we are ranked number 5 in Mesobaron.
I said 7 or 8 or something, but 5
You said
fine.
8.
Yeah,
Oh, 8.
Eight's
Okay.
the bottom. Eight's the bottom of the council
like the royal.
because of like 8 legs, eight families.
That's cool. So some highlights of my youth. I've flayed and beheaded 3 men in 1 year just because I got bored with them. My family moved up in the houses in the city with great leaps when I was younger. And like the biggest leap in the history of the city, we jumped from house 90 to 73. When I was 3 months old, my grandmother, Drada, she carried me into battle, like holding me in her left arm as she held the family sword in her right hand.
Hey, Robbie,
Yes.
never change.
Never changed, but
You're the man.
No, you always go like so deep on your character when we get into this. It's so funny.
I just,
What was the question, Matt?
What exactly?
What do you look like?
Describe your character.
he started saying, do I
This
want to
is
go into
everything about
anything
you.
else?
Yeah,
Okay,
and if
sorry.
you would have said nothing, it would have been fine. If you would have read us that whole thing, it would have been fine. I don't care.
That's
It's
fine.
up to you.
We'll just go over some of my other highlights I really like
All
that
right.
I put on here. So my favorite
I love
moment in my life was when I was 13 and my grandmother ordered a family of the family members of a house that remained alive of a rival family. She ordered them all to lay down on top of each other as the slaves built a floor on top of them. And then that night we partied on that floor and was slowly crushing that rival family underneath the floor.
That's creative.
Damn. Sucks to be them.
This is from Beowulf, if you guys know any lore from Beowulf, where he fought like a monster and he just stripped down naked to fight the monster barehanded. And I did that too when we went and we were fighting with a rival family. I just stripped down naked to just show how powerful our family is. And I used to walk the streets of the city alone, just hoping like another family would be stupid enough to try to kill me.
Sounds smart.
Sounds pretty baller.
Yep.
So most Drow families have like a very like strong ranking system so that you can kind of say, okay, this guy, like there's always the matron is top. And then usually they have like a lieutenant, like below them, usually like the eldest daughter. However, this family is a little bit strange in that for whatever reason, Matron Malice has chosen to keep around her sister and have her as part of the mix here. Tell us a little bit about Aunt Tarla.
Let me just tell you about Aunt Tarla. She's real tall. She's a real big, bosomy woman. Got her big white hair and a beehive. Little crystal spiders all in it and on the pins holding all together.
Ooh. And that's how she talks?
Yep. She's been on the surface the whole bunch of her life. And that's what happened. So, you see, she was out on the surface when her sister Malice took control over the family. And then when she came back, Malice tried to kill her, but then she made a deal with her. She's a real smooth talker.
Sounds
Everyone
like
loves
it.
her.
Sounds like it, yeah.
She likes to cook a lot, bake pies.
Okay.
She's a bit of a Paula Deen type.
She doesn't sound very drowy to me.
But she's got one of them surface accents.
Okay. So she cooks a lot. Is she pretty devoted to Lolth?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So she goes out on the surface and she likes to entrap people and then bring them back down as slaves.
Okay.
So she is
That's
very
pretty
much...
drowy.
Yeah. So
That's in there.
Yes, she is ruthless. She is an absolute backstabby murderer. She's a hoot too. She's a lot of fun compared to other Drow.
Okay. So is she... Would you say that the accent is there and like her general pie baking skills, are those there to draw people in?
Oh, yeah.
Like
totally.
a spider web situation? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, people make fun of her for the accent for sure.
Okay.
Because of the surface accent, you don't want one of those.
Okay. Fair. Yeah, for sure.
But also with my position in the family, that means no one in my family makes fun of me for the accent.
Okay.
At least not to my face.
Not to your face.
And if they do, well,
there you go.
Yeah.
You have 2 blue items and 1 green item to show them.
That's right.
That's what everybody started with.
Was it 2 blue? I thought it was only one.
No,
One blue, 2. I don't know. Whatever you got.
Oh, I am a trickster, a trickery cleric.
Okay. Very cool. You don't see those often, so that should be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot of deceptive magic and a lot of stealthy stuff.
Sounds like a drow. Those are the 3 people at the table itself. Standing behind those 3, both figuratively and actually, is Chuck. Tell us a little bit about what we see standing behind the 3.
Chuck is actually there. So you all see Ildan. It's the closest name I could get to Ildan, so
right.
which is a rogue I had in a past campaign. So you guys see Ildan, who is the middle brother, correct, Matt? Since what's our sister's name?
Okay, so he's the oldest brother. Like he's the oldest male, and in fact only male. But he's the middle child, or he's the youngest child of the 3.
Oh, okay. So I'm the youngest child of the 3. You guys see a frail, lanky male elf. I am covered from head to toe with scars from the beating that I've suffered from my family. I have tufted patches of hair on my head from basically pulling it out myself. I've gone fucking insane from the amount of beating that I have endured from my family. I have bandages around my hands and wrists to kind of just cover up some of the cuts that I have. And you basically see me just kind of like talking to myself slightly. You can't really make out the words all the time, but it seems as if I'm talking to someone whenever I'm not talking to actual people or players, I guess. So
A little bit crazy.
yeah, I'm insane. So
Maybe hitting the head one too many times.
Yep.
Fair enough.
So what is your role in the family?
So my role in the family, I am actually the house weapons master. I had a twin. Well, he died because I fucking killed him because,
That's what you do.
hey, you got to do it if you want to survive, I guess, right? So I killed him, became the house weapons master. So I'm very skilled with the blade. And I'm also, my responsibilities lie with training house troops, inspections of the weapons. So I am playing a rogue. Let me think about it. Assassin, right?
Oh, there it is.
There you go. Got it.
What is Ildan's position in the house? Are you the second oldest son, or what?
He's the youngest. So
I'm
the youngest. So would that be the second? Since there's only 2 males.
So it goes you, Robbie. You're the oldest, 10.
But I'm a
Talena.
female.
So you're the oldest and oldest female. And then below that is Loltria, who's about to go into the portal. And then the bottom of the both children and of the barrel is Chuck. Ildan.
Yeah.
Ildan.
And I'm like kind of off to the side on the org chart with the asterisk by it.
Right. Yeah, you kind of made your own. Like, again, for the most part, you should be dead for all accounts, but you were kept around.
Mom made a special spot for me in order to foil 10 a bit.
We'll have to make a family tree.
Yeah.
So I feel like in this lore, like the female ranks are separate from the male ranks. So I'm not saying like what is my rank compared to Ildan's rank. I'm saying like where is Ildan and his rank of the males?
He would be the top of the males within the house, which is still like below every single female.
So he's basically the first son then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
He's the oldest son and only son because he had a twin boy that died.
I didn't have a boy, I had a brother. Fuck this shit up, man.
Twin. Yes.
Yeah.
He'd be dead. Do you want to describe how you did that? Do you know how you did that?
Yeah, we were. There's plenty of rocks down in the Underdark. I bashed his skull in with a rock. We were wrestling around on the ground. Didn't have any weapons at the time, and got close to some rocks and just beat his face until he was unrecognizable.
Damn. So you were younger?
Yeah, I would say younger.
Like 12, 13?
Yeah, 12.
Okay.
13 years old.
And what did you say to your family when you came back?
I said there was a landslide, I guess, or whatever. What is it?
There it is. Collapsed. No, perfect.
Looks like he's dead.
Perfect. You know? No, that's totally low. Like
I would say, like before I came back,
as long as you just don't admit it.
Yeah.
It's before everyone.
Before I came back to the house, I would say I probably punched myself a couple times to look like I was hurt as well. I mean, I was probably bruised up from the fight, but
beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't believe his story, but honestly, I don't care what happened.
Yep. That's pretty much how it works. What would Aunt Tarla think when two kids go out and one returns and there was a landslide?
I'm telling you, Aunt Tarla, it fucking fell on his face, right?
No, I'm just gonna give my accent's just gonna be contagious throughout the table. We're all gonna be talking. That'll be the Drow accent when this is all done.
Fair enough. Very good.
I think whenever I talk to Aunt Tarla, I probably do the accent too. So
it's called code switching.
Yeah.
So we know our players. Again, Loltria is kind of by the portal, like meditating at this point. So she's not at the table. Normally she would be on this very important holiday, but she's kind of getting herself ready. She ate before this to kind of prepare. But the portal currently is like just pitch black. It doesn't look like it's of any use at this very second. But again, the rest of the room it takes up the entire floor of the mansion, and it's just one big ballroom filled with tables. Just denizens of the Underdark is kind of what we're looking at.
I did not get to tell you why my nickname is 10 or why I have the scar on my chest.
We're good. I'm kidding.
So when my family moved into the number 10 spot, I made the final kill that night. My target thrusted a sword into the center of my chest, and as I fell backwards from the blow, the sword sticking out of my back was the only thing holding my limp body up. But I yelled, swung my feet around to stand up, and began to pull the sword out myself. Then I used the target's own weapon on itself, and that's how, because that was the final kill, and that's how I got the nickname 10 as we moved into the number 10 spot.
Did I guys tell you my nickname is 9? When we moved into the 9th position.
Sure.
Robbie, my character is good. This is me getting in character, giving you guys shit.
No, you're fine.
You're
going to get slapped.
I love it. Do it. Do it.
I know. I feel like half the damage you're going to take this campaign is from the other two.
Nice.
As we kind of zoom past all these denizens of the Underdark talking to each other, bread is being served by the slaves who are kind of dressed up in nice outfits. We see the camera zoom into, again, Matron Malespont Baenre. She has her hair, stark white hair, kind of pulled back in a fancy bun. She's dressed in evening gown, really pretty spiders, purpley and white spiders along her dress. She takes a spoon. I'd imagine, do you guys think you guys would be talking at all to her?
Sure, yeah.
As she enters, I would definitely stand, and I would tell everyone in the room that the matron Baenre has entered the room, and everyone better stand up when she enters.
Yeah, they did, and at this point, you guys have been talking for a little bit. For the most part, she doesn't talk to you guys a lot. She's very quiet. She keeps to herself. She's kind of like a say less but mean more type of person when she talks. And at this point, she points a finger like straight up into the air, moves it down onto a spoon, pulls it, and then just once taps a glass, making like just a really slight ringing sound as metal does when it hits a glass. At that very second, the chattering throughout the room stops. So she puts her hands on the table and pushes herself upward, and she says, "Tonight is a night that we honor my great daughter, Loltria, my beautiful girl. You have done our house proud by earning an audience with the great Lolth. We are all here to celebrate what is sure to be a return as a high priestess of Lolth." Loltria just is sitting there. Again, she's kind of meditating, preparing for the trials to come. She is in full battle garb. Her pink streak in her hair is at this point right down the middle. It's pulled back into a tight ponytail, and she's dressed in warrior garb of a high priestess of Lolth. That's how you prepare, is like have that ceremonial armor on. She's got the traditional scourge of a high priestess of Lolth, which is like a tail of 8. Does everyone know what the tail of 9? Is that what they are? So like a kind of like a whip with 9 different lashes, basically. At the end of each one is a small sword or dagger, basically, to slash 9 times whenever you attack.
I know what one of those are.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
Any good high priestess of Lolth would.
Oh, I thought I was meaning it in like a kinky way.
I was thinking in the bedroom too.
Yeah. Cat of 9 tails, right?
Cat of 9 tails. That's I don't know much about that.
Dominatrix kind of stuff. So
cool. Good for you guys.
I'll show you my back later.
It's not really my style. So
that's why I'm standing for this episode.
Okay, cool, man.
Yeah. I was wondering why.
You're on
sitting on a donut.
Yeah, good for you. Do what you gotta do. So Malice Baenre continues. She says, we will all be here to welcome you back as a high priestess of Lolth. Once you come out, and we wish you the best. May Lolth be ever in your favor. Like that. So at that point, she points at the portal, which then opens. The blackness and inertness goes away, and inside a huge opening appears, where inside you can see fire and brimstone and every sort of just hellish landscape. Loltria, sensing flames coming out of it, stands up and feels the heat, turns to her mother and says, "I will not fail you, mother," and turns around and boldly walks straight in. And as soon as she goes in there, the portal closes. All the people in the entire room start cheering. Again, this is kind of like Christmas for you guys, as far as this could be a big step forward in your rankings within the city.
Wait. Did you say Christmas?
That's right. This is indeed a Christmas tale.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I'm just so proud of my sister. I'm glad I can make it back.
Malice looks at you and like rolls her eyes. I think she kind of sees you as a suck up a little bit. Would you say that's accurate?
I am like I'm like weirdly annoyingly nice to people, but like I actually hate everybody.
Okay.
I'll say out loud to people in general around me, I will say, there are other priestesses of lesser wisdom than she. She will do fine. She will make it through.
Did you go Scottish again a little bit?
Did I do Scottish?
I don't know. It sounded just a little bit. Happens every time.
I think my first character voice was Scottish, so I don't know. It's just always defaults.
Food is served as everybody's waiting around, and the serfs bring out some delicacies for the Underdark. Demons are served with actual elf, like upper level elf, not dark elf, of course. That would be considered faux pas, but surface dwelling elf is served to anyone that eats meat. Drow don't actually eat other elves, they just hate them a lot. So you guys are served with Underdark delicacies, formerly living myconids, really good mushrooms. It's kind of what you guys would eat, as well as some like really rare meats as well. Maybe trying to think of what would be good for a drow. Anybody got any suggestions?
So I will probably have a mushroom, which always it takes 2 people to cook because one always dies in the making process.
Damn.
And one has to learn the making process. So I would be eating that. It's rare and it's like a high class item to have because you're losing a slave each time you cook it.
Love it.
I would think I'd be eating like some sort of like there's a bovine-like animal in the Underdark. I think it's called a Rothy.
Rothy.
And maybe like a savory Rothy pie.
Nice.
A good meat pie. Love a good meat pie.
I would say whatever I'm allowed to eat. I would assume it has big feet. Big feet, big meat, right?
What?
I'm happy that you can still make jokes. Like if you're playing an evil character, I'm like, how can I still make jokes? But we got Chuck for that.
Big feet, big meat, right? That's what kind of meat we're eating. Matt's not pleased.
I mean,
no, I don't think I would be allowed to. Would I be allowed to eat anything? I don't know.
No, this is a family dinner. Yeah, I think.
Well, I'm not really like I'm family, but I'm treated like dirt.
You would you would just be like served last.
I would probably get scraps, maybe.
yeah,
I'd be okay
definitely
with that.
all the females are served first, and then the males.
Well, I mean, it sounds like slaves and like other house members or like other lesser house members are celebrating this
They
day
are,
too.
yeah,
so you
absolutely.
would be eating. You'd be at the family table. Like the sons are. I mean, we treat them like shit, but like they are still part of the family.
Yeah. So you would likely be at the table, and yeah, you would probably be served last of everyone there, but you would be served.
But before the slaves.
Yeah.
Cool.
You guys are eating, just kind of discussing, hope maybe talking about what we think Voltria is going through right now. Matron Baenre kind of brings up what she went through just a tiny bit as far as like she's not allowed to tell you completely. And in fact, it's possible some other houses are known for like lying about it and saying, oh yeah, she went through the high priestess training, but like if you lie and get away with it, then it counts as actually going through it. So you don't really ever quite know who's actually done this, but you guys have witnesses. She's again, Lotria has gone the path and is being gifted this opportunity. All of a sudden, you kind of hear like not like a bang, but kind of a from the floor below you, something that it was kind of loud. It kind of like something hitting the floor, basically.
So not normal.
Not normal. Not normal. I mean, there's a lot of partying and chatting and things going on. There's like probably an orchestra, like a small, I'll call it a quartet, not an orchestra. Quartet playing some music, and it was a little bit louder than all of those things.
What is the room considered underneath us? Because we're in the ballroom. And what is the room that is underneath us?
So you guys are the 4th floor of 4. There is an attic that nobody really ever goes into other than Matron Baenre. It's kind of her. None of you guys have ever even been in there, but it's like kind of her little sanctuary. Under you is the magical study. So we'll actually probably get into it here soon, but for the most part, it's where you guys keep, like, the entire floor is different rooms of magic. Like the library is down there. Lotria's pet is down there. She's kept in one of the rooms. A whole bunch of different stuff is the room below you. So if you're kind of thinking about it, Lotria's pet is kind of wild, so it could be that.
I will tell. Now, Ildan, did you hear that downstairs? Why don't you grab a couple of your soldiers and go downstairs and check out and make sure that noise ain't nothing to worry about.
Sounds great, Aunt Tarla. Sure.
So
Don't you give me your sass.
I'll hold my hand out for some sort of punishment.
I will roll my eyes and be like, not today.
Oh, you're missing out on it then. Come on, you, with me. Let's go.
the accents are just all over, guys.
Okay, my
That was
guy's
kind of Middle Eastern. I don't know
my
where
guy's fucking nuts. I'm gonna just warn you. I'm gonna have a bunch of different voices. So I'm gonna make fun of your voice. I might make fun of your voice, your Scottish accent.
It's
I'm
not,
gonna have
it's
like
not meant
probably
to
a
be
third
Scottish. It's not meant to be Scottish. It's,
I will point to some of my soldiers that are beneath me, and I will say, "Hey, you, let's go."
I will say, well, because I want to give him the blessing of the trickster, which is one of my class features, which gives him advantage on stealth checks for the next hour. Well, may Loth keep you and bless you just in case there's something nasty down there.
Yeah, your thought to this point is maybe Sin got out, who is Loltria's pet. That's kind of your working theory here. Again, you would have gotten reports there's an internal communication system from the outside, outer walls. All outside wall guards have the spell sending. They're taught it, so they could send you a message if you were attacked. So for the most part, you're not feeling much danger. But Sin getting out. You ever had a dog get loose? It'd be kind of like that. It'd be a hassle, but...
So what is this pet?
Yeah, that's what is Sin.
Why don't you check on that pet?
Yeah, so Sin. Sin is... So when... Sin is called a neothid. Neothids are if an illithid colony, mind flayers, are dispersed. Inside of the elder brain is where all the babies are kept. And if not properly dealt with, if the entire illithid colony is destroyed in the elder brain, but the babies are not corrected, what'll happen is they'll start eating each other until there's one left, and that one is called a neothid. So it's kind of like a wild, unattached illithid that grows up and is just like a huge, gigantic worm creature with just one open mouth. And Loltria, having been part of a raiding team that killed an illithid colony that was threatening Menzo Berenzin, chose to keep the one that they found and has been raising it in a room. So she named it Sin, and at this point it's kind of just like a wild dog that she goes in there and plays with sometimes. Sometimes she'll whip it, sometimes she'll play fetch with it, whatever she feels like doing.
Definitely Google an image for that, because this thing is nasty looking.
Yeah, dude, they're pretty tight.
Wow, that's a big scary worm, man.
I've seen scarier. How would I? So would I know the tricks that Loltria does with
Sin?
Sin?
Yeah, you probably.
So I'm going down. I don't just want to go down and be like, hey, this thing loves to go after bones of dead creatures or something like that. You know?
Yeah, you could probably grab a plank of roasted meat if you wanted to, because it would they eat really anything, but it would if you threw it would probably follow the food.
I guess one of my soldiers that I bring with me, I would tell him, hey, grab a plate of that.
Sure.
So I don't want to keep jumping off too much of topic of this Sin thing, but is there some kind of telepathic connection that she has with this pet? Is it because could it be sensing that she's in danger? Of course. Could it be sensing something and that's why he's acting crazy?
They're kind of like best friends. They as far as you can be a best friend with a wild dog. I mean, Sin knows her and she knows Sin, but that you don't know if that's a thing, but hey, why not, right? It could be. Maybe Sin is kind of acting up because Loltria is not in this dimension anymore, basically.
Okay.
Ildan grabs 2 guards, says, come with me, and the rest of the family just stays eating. Where you're at is at the very far end of the ballroom. The stairs are at the other side of the ballroom. So there's a huge set of grandiose stairs that go all the way throughout the house, down the middle of the house, and get you to each floor. You walk to the other end of the floor, Chuck, and go ahead and give me a perception check.
Hey, we're rolling dice.
Yay. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
12. So you definitely sense some rustling of feet, some like running of feet
in the direction that I'm in
at the lower level of the stairs. But you can't see down there because they're spiraling stairs. All you can see is the start of the stairs that are going down.
Stairs that are going down. Okay. I would tell one of the guards, or I'll tell the guards, I'll say, something's wrong. It's not Sin. It's something else. You.
What do you want us to do?
I'll instruct one of them to head back and report that we hear rustling of feet. So as if they're of a possible attack.
Okay.
And I will keep one of the guards with me.
Okay. And are you going to go down the stairs, or are you going to stay right there for now? You can do whatever you want with the other guard. He'll obey your commands.
Can I see down the staircase, or is it spiral?
It's spiral, so you would have to go down a little bit to see the actual next level of the floor.
And then one more thing. You were talking about some people have the ability of sending the send message, or
yeah, all outside guards. So you have around your house. there's a wall, and all guards have the ability to cast the sending spell, which is basically, I think it's that one you can say up to 60 words at any point in time to anybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll sneak down the spiral staircase a little bit with the guard.
Okay. Sorry, are you going first or is he?
He's going first.
He's going first.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other one is coming back to you guys, and he's gonna tell your table just in general, but probably looking at Matris Baenre. We're not quite sure what's down there. We heard like footsteps.
I stand.
Okay.
About how far is it downstairs? How many feet?
Like a story, I guess. I don't know how many feet that is, but like,
is it more or less than 30 feet?
Directly below you?
Yeah, I would assume it'd be less than that. This is the area that we're thinking that the footsteps are in. Is it less or more than 30 feet?
Well, so you would have to walk to the stairs, but
no, directly from my location.
Are you going to teleport or something?
No, but I got something else.
So the stairs are probably 100 feet from you, and then we'll say it's the floor. The stairs are 20 feet downward to the next level.
So I can see directly below me 20 feet. And is that where we're thinking that the sound is coming from?
No, you're still at the table.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying I'm walking to the steps. I'm saying if I could just look straight down
to the floor,
I can see through the floor. Is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Can I? But I want to know. Like my character would know the feet distance.
Okay.
But like Robbie, I need to know if I can do it or not.
Just tell us what ability you want to use.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing.
And then Max,
so I have Ghostly Gaze. Once per short rest, as an action, you gain the ability to see through solid objects to a range of 30 feet for 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, I think this would be a great time to do that. I mean, if I was you, but
that's the thing, though, is I just wanted to make sure that I can see down there.
Yeah, you can see through the
floor is a solid object.
Yeah.
Okay, so before everyone gets their panties in a bunchel, I will say, wait a minute. And I would take my hands and 4 fingers in a row over my eyes, and I will swipe them through, and then open my fingers, and my pupils would be solid white as I cast Ghostly Gaze on myself, and I will gaze down the floor below.
Perfect. All right, so directly below you is the library. You see troops. You see lots of them. They are completely armed. They have on them most of them are male at this point that you're seeing, although you see that each platoon, like this platoon that you're looking at in the library, is led by a female. And they are wearing red, like as their jacket, and then their like outer garb is gold. So red and gold is their colors, which is actually... Like, you would know any main threats to you as far as your family goes, like within like the top 30 families. You don't even recognize that as a family that would pose any threat to you, which is really strange to you. But they are in your house.
I will say out loud, we are under attack by another family. Who would dare attack us on a night like tonight?
Matris Baenre says, how did they know? We're going to flash back over to Chuck. Chuck, what are you doing on the stairway?
I send the guard down. I'll move down probably like 15 feet.
Okay.
But I will send the guard ahead, and I will tell him to message me. He can message, correct?
Yeah.
Tell me what he sees. I tell him to keep going.
Okay. So
what it is.
The very second he gets down far enough to like see what's going on, he is just peppered with arrows. Just crossbow bolts start just protruding from him.
I will run back to the ballroom. I'll say, sorry, buddy.
So Matris Baenre stands up and she says, everyone remain calm. And she grabs a hold of a talisman that's on her chest. She closes it around her hand around it and starts saying some sort of a chant. Out of the ceiling, in between the two main chandeliers, a ladder drops down. And she says, members of the family, please make your way to the ladder. And that's pretty much the 3 of you. And she says, everyone else, do not panic. You will be fine. And anyone that knows anything knows she's fucking lying big time.
Just remember, everybody, Lolth is in control.
So, you guys, I assume, make your way to the ladder?
Yes, I go to the ladder and go up.
I will stop you, and I will make sure that the matron goes up the ladder first.
Yeah, I mean, yes, of course.
Mrs. Ladderhog.
And
I would not bump the matron mother. I'm not that dumb.
And I will put my hand over my mouth and go, because of the tension growing between 10 and Tarla.
Did the tension happen? Did it happen? If Casey said he let the matron go first, so I don't need to stop you.
Yep.
So there was no tension.
Yeah, I assume she was going up already
Tension's
anyway.
definitely there.
There's no tension.
So she is actually slow, and due to her own speed and recognizing it, she says, "Go, go."
To us?
Yeah.
Oh, matron mother, would you like some assistance?
Just get up, fool. They're coming.
Well, yeah, I'll just use my winged boots and just whoop right up.
Okay. Who's going up next?
I will go up next. Talena will go up next.
Okay.
And I naturally levitate, and I will just glide up with each tip-tap of my foot as I glide up the ladder.
She looks at you, Ildan, and says, "Protect them, fool, go."
Sure thing. And I get on the ladder, and I climb up it because I don't have any special ability to fly up.
Fair enough. So up here, and this is an area of the house you guys have never been to. You've been in every single room of the house, some of which are more dangerous than others. But you've been in every single room, and you hear her grab a hold of the ladder as you guys can kind of look down and see that she's starting. But like she said, she's pretty slow. But this is a room that is basically a panic room that has been built. It is surrounded completely by metal. It's probably 30 feet above the base floor where you guys were at, of the ballroom. So you had to fly or climb 30 feet. She has it decked out in all the stuff that she likes. There's a bunch of spider decorations everywhere. There's a shrine to Lolth where you would assume that she's doing her praying. There's statues, one big main statue of a spider with its fangs looking at the person, where there's a little carpet to pray to Lolth on. Behind the carpet, or behind the statue, is a vault, a big vault you would think would hide her most precious possessions. All the best stuff that she owns would be in there, which you guys didn't even know that was there. I mean, again, you've never been up here, but this is also meant to be a panic room, basically, so for this exact situation. Right next to the door, the drop that where the ladder came down, which again she had to it was only her that could open that. There's a button basically that you would imagine would close that door. You see Matron Malice below you, and you hear troops below you as well, rushing to her. What do we do?
So these are the troops that are attacking.
Yes. So they're starting to fill in the room basically.
They can see the ladder. What happens?
The ladder is coming right out of the ceiling at this point. So
yeah.
yes.
What happens to the ladder if we press the button? We don't know.
You don't know. You've never been in this room.
There's a button.
Mm-hmm.
I say.
I just do mage hand and I'll push the button.
Okay.
Okay.
You shut your mother down there.
Is it?
Good going. It's going to shut the door.
You think so?
He just said it.
Oh.
So a metal contraption kind of slides across, cutting off the ladder completely, which falls to the ground, and you guys are now locked up in this panic room with the matron mother down below, surrounded by guards.
Wait, is this your way of getting rid of the matron mother to take hold of this family? Because it doesn't seem like there's going to be a lot of family left
I saw
after
that
those
as well.
troops devastate us. Are we prepared for something like this, Ildan?
Well, most of the troops were downstairs in the ballroom getting fucked up while we came up here when 10 decided to leave Mother down there. So, I don't think so.
I did not know that button would lock us off.
Yeah, anytime I see buttons, I just go and fucking push them.
I was editing my character sheet and I thought I was a button. I was when Matt described the room, I was trying to find a tip on my character sheet, and then Matt described the button, and I was editing my character sheet, and then I heard about a button, I was might as well push it. It's a button. Everyone pushes buttons.
Anytime.
I'm so sorry.
Anytime that I say something.
Now wait, I want to know what you say in character because you can't use an out of character
Yeah.
answer to say.
So it's obvious that the button's going to lock the door?
Yeah, it's right by the door.
Keep
I should
rolling.
have
This
been
is
paying
great.
so much. I should have been paying much more attention.
Well, it's done now.
So sorry.
You need to say.
'Cause
I always knew you wanted to off mother so that you could reign supreme down here. No.
It's not.
That's good.
It's not like
That's
she's
what I'm
being
thinking.
off. She's down there protected. She told us to come up here.
Yeah. Listen to the screams. Can we hear? Can we
Yeah,
hear
they're
her scream?
screaming for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure she's doing all right.
Those are the
down there.
screams of the attacking army.
Anytime, I want to make this clear, like anytime that I say something that is, what do you say, out of turn, where like I should not be talking back and nobody does anything, I will take one of my daggers out and I will give myself a little nick in my arm, like cut myself, basically.
Did you just do that?
I just did that, yeah.
Okay. Take 1 damage and 1 point of inspiration.
Well, it sounds like this is going to be a bad, bad day for House Baenre. But as long as the three of us make it through, at least that other house will be destroyed.
I didn't get a good look at them on the staircase. I sent the guard ahead of me and he got fucked up and I ran. You know, so I don't really know much about who's attacking us.
What do you mean, fucked up?
Well, I just heard a bunch of, I would assume arrows, maybe.
So my ghostly gauge is still good for a minute.
So
Oh,
yeah,
Tell
other
us
than
what's going on.
yeah,
Right.
well, so at this point, everything immediately surrounding you looks to be protected against it. So you see like a box of metal around you, and the metal appears to be enchanted against seeing through, including the vault.
I will say that I cannot gaze further than the vault. There's a magical enchantment blocking my ghostly gaze.
So
Even the door, I can't see through the door.
so directly below you.
Right.
Yeah, like it's shut as part of the metal
Okay.
that was below it. Yeah.
Can I inspect the room a little bit? You talked about like
Yeah.
a safe or something like that that's up there where we didn't
Yeah.
even know about. It looks like it holds a bunch of like stuff. I
Yeah.
guess.
So yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
I will help him look around.
Sure.
So that gives you advantage.
Okay. 12.
Yeah, you see, like I said, like far more than just visible is what I told you about is you notice something weird about the statue itself. I'll say that. The statue of
Can
the spider.
I guess I already inspected the statue. Like, I guess can I look at it further, investigate for traps or whatever? Or
I'll say your investigation
I'm already
check.
investigating.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, if you want to say, I feel like something's weird about this statue.
Yeah. This statue doesn't feel right. Doesn't sit right with me. Hey, maybe there's a button you can push.
Oh no, I love pushing buttons.
How long will Ultria be in that portal?
These things can last hours, days, weeks. I mean, she could be dead already. You don't know.
Well, at least one member of our family might make it through.
So funny you should mention that. From below you, you hear the matron Baenre. And she says, you could hear her if she yelled, I would say. And she yells, I hate you! And you don't know if she's yelling at you guys for basically just killing her. Or, well, she doesn't know who it was. Or...
When the narrator says we killed her, I point to my sister because I can hear the narrator because of how fucking crazy I am. So
you point at 10.
She was going to die anyway. She was surrounded. We had to protect ourselves. This is the way to protect the family.
Matron Mother was growing old.
If anyone can hold off those forces below, it's her.
So you hear her screaming with hatred and fury, and you just hear, I mean, you guys are all, well, you guys have either been casting spells or been around spells your entire life. You hear the sounds of every sort of evocation spell you've ever known. Disintegration, what else we got? I mean, fireball, you name it, scorching ray, you know the telltale sounds of all these. And her furious scream goes on for a while past all these horrible disintegration ray spells until you don't hear any more screaming. And then right after that, you hear a crumbling of what you would imagine is the portal being destroyed as well.
Would we know that if a portal is destroyed, like, is our sister
That doesn't happen often. We don't know.
What I mean, like, is there another way for her to get out? Will we know
idea.
that?
You wouldn't know.
Okay.
And I think that's where we're going to end the episode.
This is bad.
Yes, it is.
I'm just waiting for Alan Rickman to show up and...
Thanks for sinking your teeth into Crit Sandwich. Please give us a review on iTunes or the Apple Podcast app. Please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or email us at critsandwichpodcast@gmail.com.